investigates all aviation and major highway, rail, marine, and pipeline accidents in the United States. Before we begin, I would like to send a special thanks to the Dunlap Police Department, the Dunlap Fire Company, Sequatchie Sheriff's Office, DA Office, 12th Judicial, Sequatchie Rescue Squad, and all the other first responders that have responded to this event. The NTSB is here to investigate what happened, why it happened, and how we prevent this from happening again. I'd like to also give my condolences to the friends, families, and the community that have all been affected by this accident. I arrived on scene today just before noon, so the information that I have is very limited, but I will share with you what I know up to this point. On June 24th at about 6:25 p.m. Central Time, November 28 Delta Romeo, a Piper J3C-65 aircraft was substantially damaged in an accident near Dunlap, Tennessee. There were 2 occupants on board. 1 individual was fatally injured and 1 was seriously injured. The airplane was attempting to land on a private grass airstrip before it impacted terrain about 30 feet to the left side of the beginning of that airstrip runway. Assisting me on scene are inspectors from the Federal Aviation Administration, a representative from the airframe manufacturer, Piper. On scene, we will investigate the entire airplane, so the engine and the airframe. At headquarters, behind the scenes, we have a couple of individuals, a couple different teams looking at things like weather, ATC communications that the pilot might have had. All that stuff is happening behind the scenes while we're out here on scene, and we'll continue once we leave the scene. Overall, the investigation entails investigating the pilot, the plane, and the environment. So we're looking at the pilot's qualifications, his flying experience, his general health. When it comes to the airplane, that's what we're going to be completing on scene here, looking at the airplane's condition, the engine condition, and the environment, meaning obviously the weather, but those air traffic control communications, if there were any, and all those other external factors. A preliminary report on the accident will be published in about 3 weeks, and a final report will be published in about 18 months. Again, I'd like to thank all the first responders and the community for their assistance with this accident and all the help that they've provided thus far. I have time for a couple questions if you have any. When it comes to the identification of the individuals on board, I will leave that to the local police department too.
As far as any of the things that you said will be in that investigation, was there anything that you noticed when you first got to the scene that immediately stood out to you?
So again, it's pretty early. We're able to tell that the airplane is it's leaning towards its right side. It's on its right wing, and the left wing is elevated. That right wing has substantial impact damage to it. It's near the end of the runway, and it's off to the left about 30 feet. Beyond that, we need to do a little bit more digging and a little more investigating.
As far as looking at the airplane closely, will you actually remove it from there and take it somewhere, or you do everything on scene? Sometimes
we do that. Sometimes we do everything on scene. Every accident's a little bit different. We haven't dug into the airframe yet, so it will kind of depend on what we find tomorrow. But certainly, if we find something of interest, we will take that with us, and we'll take that back to Washington, D.C.
We had heard from a neighbor, and this may be something you're not able to tell us at this time, but we had heard from a neighbor that the plane had maybe clipped a tree. Is that something you're able to share with us for now? Sure.
We're looking into that. We're looking at all possibilities at this point. There are trees near the end of the runway. Whether it clipped a tree or not at this point, we need to figure that out.
Can you say if he was landing or taking off?
He was landing, yes. Any other questions? I'll turn it over to Chief Randy Phillips if you have any questions for him.
Thank you all for coming today. As I told y'all last night, a little after 6 p.m., officers received a call of a plane that had crashed here in town. 2 people were injured in that crash, as I told you last night. One of them, William Trindle, 79, of Dunlap, was transported to Erlanger Sequatchie here in town, where he succumbed to his injuries. The other was Ashish Singh Carr of Jacksonville, Florida. He's 55 years of age, and he sustained substantial injuries as well. We would ask that y'all pray for the friends and family and the community. Anyone have any questions for me?
The second individual, Ashish, was that a co-pilot?
He was a passenger in the plane. Anything, if there's any discussion other than that, I would direct that back to NTSB.
I might have another question for you as well then.
Yeah, sure. So,
It goes along with this.
Mhm.
We had heard also from a neighbor that perhaps the other person that was in the plane was someone learning from
Mhm.
Mr. Tremble, and that I don't know if you're able to tell us who was sitting where. Is that preliminary?
it's still up in the air at this point as to who was sitting where, and to who was flying at this point. So we need to figure all that out yet. It's still too early to tell.
With that aircraft, does it have controls in the front and the back?
Yes.
So is it confirmed that all of the land, and said there's a runway is over there as well? Like is all of that, the planes, there's like 2 other planes in a hangar. Are those his as well? The guy.
They're unaffiliated. Thank you.
Anything else? The only other thing I would like to say, I would like to thank Ryan and also with NTSB and FAA for coming in and helping us with this. They have been beyond great for us. So anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something really you can speak towards, but the other individual, do we know the extent of his injuries? Are they life-threatening? Is it something that he could potentially recover from, or do you know that?
It's serious injuries. I don't think I want to elaborate at this time further than that.
Thank you. Thank you both very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.